Okay, we are live. Precious, you are muted. Please unmute.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining in today. My name is Precious Bright and I'm the country representative for Human Affection International. I'm so glad to welcome you on behalf of the organization or HAI, we call it HAI for short. So I don't know how your day has been. Maybe you have been busy, maybe you just stumbled upon this link, but I want you to know something this moment. Yeah, so this moment right here is special. It's special to us. This is our first YouTube live, and I'm so glad for that. And I'm officially welcoming you to the beginning of something that is going to change the lives of children in Nigeria. So at HAI, we believe in love, not just as a word, but as action. The kind of love that shows up in slums, works in moody communities. We are there for children who are out of school. We are there for children who are hungry, as an organization. And tonight, we are sharing something very close to our hearts. I'm so excited about this. And it's a campaign called 1000 Naira One Child. Or if you are joining us from the international outside Nigeria, it's called $1 One Child. So now someone might, ask or think, what can 1000 Naira do? That's like a price of bottle of Coke or maybe airtime. Understand? Or what can that do? That's the question we have right now. But let me tell you a brief story quickly before I dive into 1000 Naira can do for a child tonight. During one of our outreach at Karama Gigi Abuja, I watched a little boy, not older than 7 years old, and he was literally dancing when we gave him a food, like a pack of food, just one plate of food. And you think that that means it doesn't mean much to him and all that, but he took it home to give to the sister and the siblings because he was having it in mind that, yeah, I have people at home that have not eaten, so I have to take this food home so that all of us can share. So this is what 1000 naira can actually do for a child. It can feed a child for a day. So this campaign is not just about numbers, it's about moments like that, real children, real hunger, and real relief. Now, while we give a little time for more amazing people to join, thank you so much for joining the live. I appreciate. While we give a little time for more amazing people to join, I'll just ask a brief question and I would like you to do something for us tonight. First, hit the like button, so YouTube can publish this video and this live to other people. Then you click the subscribe button so you can be able to watch our YouTube stories. Since this is our first live, when you click the like button, the subscribe button, you can be able to watch next time we come live. And finally, just share this link to one of your friends or two of your friends that loves people, someone who wants to feed a child if they only know how. Some people want to do this, but they don't know how to do it. So share this to your friend. Also, let's light up the chat. I can see people are coming in. You're welcome. Drop your city, your country in the comments, and tell us where you are from. As we are doing that, um, you'll be hearing from some of our amazing people. We have four amazing people here with me. So these people have been part of this boots on ground efforts, the behind the scenes hustle and the soul to this amazing mission. So we have four people here with me. We are going to hear their voices, their stories, and it really touch your heart when you hear it. Because the truth is, most people don't know what hunger really looks like. You see a picture online, but you don't smell it. You don't, you don't feel it, how this hunger really looks like. So you watch a child pretend to sleep by 3 p.m. because he's hungry, not because he wants to sleep, but because he's very, very hungry. So the best option is just for him or her to sleep, just not to understand or just not to remember that he's hungry. So we're bringing up these four people. We have Khadija Barreiro, we have Anointed Joel, we have Miss Damisi, um, we have Christian with us. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. I want you to introduce yourself, and I'll be starting with Christian. Can you briefly introduce yourself to our viewers? Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody.
Good
Like
evening.
she said, my name is Christian, and I am a member of the HAI.
Thank you so much,
So,
Christian. Thank you so much, Christian. Mr. Joel, can you introduce yourself to the viewers? Thank you. Please, can you kindly unmute?
Okay, hello everyone. Good evening.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
I'm happy to be here. My name is Anointed Joel Aneni. I coordinate the logistics and structure behind every of our outreaches in HAI, Lecture International. It's good to be here. Thank you so much. Um,
All
just
right,
add to my introduction.
all
Just
right.
add to my introduction. A lot of people think or feel rather that feeding children is one of the simplest thing you can do because we have children in our various houses. But the truth about it is that it's different from when you're feeding a large number of children, when you're feeding just two or three. So it takes so much to do that. So I'll be sharing with regards to that note and then why our support also is very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joel. That was a nice one. Khadija, can you unmute and introduce yourself to the viewers? Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I am
Good
so happy to
evening.
be. My name is Khadija Bayo, and I work as a field volunteer for HEI, which means that I get to directly interact with the children and families we serve. I cannot wait to share one or two stories with you guys here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Khadija. Next person, an amazing person here with us is Miss Damisi. Can you quickly introduce yourself to the viewers?
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Damisi. I am passionate about getting young people involved in causes that matter. And this, I'm grateful to HAI for the opportunity granted me. I believe that young voices and small actions can create a big change. And I'm here to encourage everyone to be a part of this movement. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Damisi. So the last person here, Okay, Christian, all right. Christian, can you reintroduce yourself because I didn't hear you quite well.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Okay, like I said, my name is Christian, and then I'm a member of the HAI team. I can tell you categorically that it's not been easy for everyone in this country, all right? And then having first time with the children, we go out every day and we see how the children in the societies are suffering. Some of them are involving in child labor just to see something they can eat. So this project is really something that I am happy we are doing, and then I'm very glad to be part of the team. Thank you, Mrs. Precious.
All right, thank you so much, Christian. So over to you, Miss Khadija. Miss Khadija. Okay. Christian, back to you. So you have really been involved in pushing this campaign forward behind the scene, yeah. And I know your heart is in it. But for someone watching, who is never heard of one child or $1 one child campaign, or they are skeptical about this. How far can you explain? Can you explain this briefly for us? Like break it down.
Okay, I'll be very glad to do that. So the $1 one child campaign is a very simple
I
one.
think Christian is breaking network.
Can you hear me?
Christian is breaking with network. So let's Miss Khadija, are you there? Can you hear me? Khadija, are you there?
Is it clear now? Hello?
Okay, I think the network is
It's bad now. Can you hear me?
really bad.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay. So let me continue what I was saying earlier.
Hi, Christian, are you speaking?
Yes.
All right. So, guys, while we wait for the network to, normalize. So, as we are saying, we have Joel, we have Christian, we have
Okay, guys. I believe you can all hear me, right? We can all hear me, right? Okay. The $1 one child challenge has been something that we've had in mind for quite a long time. However, we had to put all hands on deck, making sure we get everything necessary to make this a reality. And we thought about starting by putting out a live video where we have a very concrete discussion about it, because the goal is not just having just a few individuals participating in this very event. We're looking forward to government institutions, we're looking out for private sectors and even able-bodied individuals to be able to see that this is making sense. A lot is really happening in Nigeria, and then as an NGO body, we're looking forward to see how we can reduce the menace in the society. Most of the people today we see causing havoc on different fronts in life today were people who, one way or the other, were what's the best word now? There were people, one way or the other, who were deprived of certain challenges, and growing up with that trauma is making them do a lot they are doing now. So as an NGO body, we are concerned. We are really concerned because there's so much out there that is unattended to. For someone who has something to eat, who have 3 square meal, who has clothes to wear, who live in a good environment and probably attend good school, cannot really relate to what is really happening. So we're putting out this live show, encouraging everyone to see how there are so many challenges in the society unattended to, and we're putting out this also to make sure we're able to communicate effectively why this is very, very necessary. Thank you so much. I think I'll have to give you back here to Mrs. Precious Bright while she continues the meeting. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Joel. So I was asking Khadija a question before I broke up. Khadija, I know you have been on the field, meeting the children, engaging with their families, and you have seen things that can't really be forgotten. And sometimes it's not even the big sins that hit you the hardest. Yeah, because I've talked to you one of these days and you shared the story with me. So it's that moment to share the story with our viewers, tell them what you think and what you have seen in the field. Go
Hmm.
on, Miss Khadija.
Okay. Now, first of all, I'm going to start with saying for somebody who is very, very emotional, I think I am soon going to have to leave the field because it's very hard to go on these things and not be moved to tears by the things you see. Now, a particular incident that really stuck with me was this day that we were sharing food. So there was this girl, this little child particularly. She was standing by the corner. I know children, they see food, they normally rush towards it, but she was not coming towards it, which was very, very weird. So then I had to approach her with a plate of food in my hand. And then I reached out to her and I said, "Are you not hungry? Why don't you come and take some food?" So she looked at me. She looked very, very skeptical. But eventually, you know, hunger overrides every type of skepticism. Then she collected the plate from my hand. And then I went back to join the rest. But still, after a while, I turned around, but she was still not eating. Then I approached her again and I asked, what is wrong? Why aren't you eating? Are you not hungry? And then she said she's trying to save some to take home to her brother at home. And then when I tell you guys that I was moved to tears and I tried very hard not to cry in front of the child because it was so very sad. As a child you understand this type of hunger, a hunger that allows you to even be considerate of others. As a child, it was really, really, really a sad sight. And this particular one was one of the ones that actually stuck with me amongst the rest. I hope
Okay.
I'm oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. It was quiet for a while.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, I
Yeah,
was
I can
speaking
hear
with
you.
Mr. Christian. I said, since he's back online, we would like to hear his own view as to what particular event stuck with him in his involvement so far. Mr. Christian, can we hear you speak, please? Thank you.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me now?
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, we can hear you.
So, what I was saying before, yeah, being part of this team has really not been easy for me, not because it is tasking that much or anything, but you have to face the reality of these children one on one. And most times, it is not always too impressive what we see out there on the streets. Going about seeing children doing some kind of jobs just to eat. Back then, when I was in Enugu, I see children inside Keta market dropping inside gutter just to pick things. And when you ask them, "Come, why are you doing that?" They say they just want to pick it and sell so they can eat. And you see the sincerity in their faces because these children are really serious. They've not seen food. Like if you even offer to buy them food, they'll first sit down and eat. And this campaign we are launching, when the initiative came, I was very happy because I knew that 1,000 naira, though small for some of us, how much is it for data, airtime, or just something you can just easily spare on games or something? But using it to feed a child will really be something very nice for this child. To you, it may mean nothing, but some of these children will be very, very appreciative when you give them this opportunity and to have a good meal for one day. Moving that to when I was in Edo State too, it was like the experience was not really, really impressive. Correct. Some of these children out there are really going through a lot, and then if you see the state of their parents, some of them have parents, but the parents can't even do anything because they don't have. Even the small farms are managing, it's not really easy. So they have to beg, and so this initiative is really a nice one and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Christian. Thank you so much. That's very inspiring. Okay, from my end, I would like to give us just not really a few story, but how this has always been. I remember when I started with HAI, our first outreach to meeting our children, for meeting our children out there, we got a total number of 50. Guess what happened? The plan and budget was for 30 children at most because that was our first outreach. So we did a lot of underground plans. So when we got there, thank God, while we were speaking with our founder, me in the person of Mr. Ezekiel Eyang, he told us to make a budget for 50 children. You know, one of the things about an NGO job I've discovered so far is that if you work with experienced people, you will actually hit the nail on the head. And thank God for his well of experience. And then we made budget for 50 children. Lo and behold, when we got to the field, we were expecting 30 because we had some volunteers. So where we could just, okay, probably the remaining one will just get to help ourselves because it was a very hard tax on us. Guess what? We had over 55 children. So we had to now outsource for the extra 5 children. It was a whole lot. And then we went back with our report and then he laughed. He smiled also. He laughed and then he told us that these are part of what we get because it is good to work with experienced people. For my end, I would like to say a lot of people have not really realized, or should I say, are not really coming to terms to understand that getting to feed children are one of the most engaging, one of the most tiring, one of the most, I don't know the right word to use now, but one of the most difficult things to do. This is so because you're talking about a large number of people. I feel for me, in my opinion, sincerely speaking, a very handful of people that can relate to feeding, I will call are the people I think the hospitality department, people who we call caterers. I remember we had our last event we stepped out for in HAI was in Nyanya. There's a place we call Bagalape in Nyanya. We went there and we had plans of having over 250 people, children particularly. We end up having in attendance 350. For children, you don't need no advert. For children, you don't need the public, you don't need the town crier, you don't need someone to go spread flyers. They just keep coming. You don't really need to tell them anything. So with that, it became so strong in our hearts to bring out this campaign. Let's break it down this way. If you're planning for a campaign if you're planning for an outreach rather, where you need to reach out to children or to whatever number of people, the first and important thing we put into consideration is the budgeting aspect. Budgeting can be so tiring. Budgeting requires your mind and physical effort. Now let's break it down like this. Where you have, for instance, 350 children. Number one, you need a space that could occupy these people. And you know how Abuja can be. There are no free space anywhere. You pay for any space that is being given to you. That's one. I'm just trying to break this down. And then when you want to feed these people, you don't get a place that is very far from the location of the event. And that's another space we're talking about. You pay for that space. And then you now break it down to getting to hire a caterer to do this work for you. Someone who is experienced at the job. You pay them for their services. That's 3. Then now we're not talking about, we've not come to the aspect where we talk about how foodstuff in Nigeria are very expensive. You've not talked about the meat. You've not talked about so many things. Imagine that put together, and then you have to still budget for transportation from the place where those meals are prepared to where the event is holding. Now, bring it to the point where you have to use a very clean water. You have to, sometimes it costs us, we have to go to companies that produces water, maybe sachet or bottled water. We buy water from them. So if we're even lucky, they get to transport it for this, transport it to where we do the preparation. If we're not lucky enough, we have to still get something to transport that to where we prepare everything we prepare. You can imagine how tiring this is, how burdensome this thing is. So this is the reason why we are putting out this campaign. As a company, as an NGO, we can't all alone tough on us, and that's why we're looking out to see how we can get both government parastatals, private enterprises, and even individuals that are capable, that are well capable to get involved. You can be someone who really would not want to give 10,000 naira, but your 1,000 naira can go far. There are some of us that you can give 1 million or so. If you put together everything I just mentioned as part of what we budget, it's over. We spend more than 1 million for every outreach we go out to do. This is why we're putting out this campaign. It is very essential. You see, our hearts are ready, but the resources are limited. And that's why we're crying out today. We need people to support this mission. We need people to support this goal. It's not HAI. It is a community thing. You are partnering with us, you're sponsoring with us. We let the people know, the people who are giving towards this contribution. This is our cry today. Thank you. As I give it back to Mrs. Precious. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Joel. If you're just joining in, welcome to our YouTube live, first YouTube live for Human Affection International, and we are just talking about $1 one child campaign, and how just a small gift can feed a child. I think Joel has said it all. We have gone for many outreaches. We have gone to slum areas in Lagos, in Abuja, and we have seen these children suffer. Just to eat is a problem for them. Their family, everybody is struggling. They go to market to earn a living, but at the end of the day, there's nothing on the table to eat. So we have seen the empathy, we have seen what they go through, and that's why this organization is here to help them. And we can't do this alone. That's why we are calling on your support. 1,000 naira is what we can easily give out. What we do data with, we do buy coke, snacks with. Or if we give it out to a child, the person can use it to eat a full meal, like with protein and egg, everything on top of the meal. So that's why we are here, guys. And we have pinned the donation link and the official organization account details in the comments, just at top of the comments here. So you can actually click if you don't want to use the account. This is our donate button. So you can click on the website and it will lead you straight up to the organization website where you can donate securely if you want to be anonymous. But if you wish to donate through the account details, it's also pinned on the comments. So do well to donate. I think we have Damisi back. Damisi, hello. Are you there? Okay, so moving forward, we are so happy, and I know at the end of the day, we are building a family, just as Joy has said. We are not doing this for HAI. We are not doing this to be popular. We are doing this because of
Good
what we
evening
have
once
seen
again,
these children
everyone.
face.
While we wait for
We are doing this to create a family,
I would like to
build
appeal
a
to our
community for
negotiators.
these children, and to make them feel seen. Some of them, in the morning, they just wake up, they drink dirty water, they do whatever they want to do because nobody is actually caring for them. But that's why HAI is here. want to care for them.
Hi guys. Sorry, network in Nigeria is somewhat, we cannot really explain that. But the sum total of what Miss Precious is trying to pass across to us is letting us know how that we need our support. You can support in kind, you can support in cash. It all depends on the way you want to support. But HAI is really in need of partnership. HAI is really in need of sponsorship. From every angle, within Abuja, outside Abuja, within Lagos, outside Lagos, within Nigeria and outside Nigeria, we look forward to your partnership. We're looking forward to your sponsorship. $1 one child challenge, 1,000 naira one child challenge is what we're out for. We're going to be having meetings like this often and often. This is just the beginning. And like I said, we're sorry for the transmission breakout. We look forward to do better. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Kristen. Thank you, Miss Khadija. Thank you, Mrs. Damisi. Thank you, Mrs. Precious. We look forward to doing this better even again. Thank you. Please do have a lovely night. We're grateful.